Brothers and sisters, please stand as our colors are presented by the Montgomery County Career Firefighters and Paramedics Honor Guard, Local 1664, under the command of Captain John DeHaven. They will be led in by the pipes and drums of the Washington, D.C. Local 36 Emerald Society under Pipe Major Jim Mazaris. Gentlemen, please come forward. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. It is my high honor to welcome you to the nation's capital and the 37th annual Alfred K. Can we sit down? Yes, please be seated. Thank you. Please be seated. And the 37th annual Alfred K. Whitehead Legislative Conference. My name is Kevin O'Connor, and I serve as the Assistant to the General President for Governmental Affairs and Public Policy. Washington has truly entered a brave new world. The advent of the Trump administration brings with it a new president, a new outlook, and new priorities. The beginning of the 115th Congress creates both challenges and opportunities for this IAFF. The conference is about the intersection of good policy and good politics at every level of government. For over 3 decades, this union has brought our leadership to the nation's capital to advance our issues. Today, more so than at any time in the past 6 years, your attendance here is vital. Both the House and the Senate are in session. We may well have a hearing this week on taxing health care benefits. We need to lay markers down on SAFER and AFG and begin the dialogue on national collective bargaining once again. We have a lot to discuss, and your voices must be heard. Let me do an informal survey. Will all of our first-time attendees please stand up? First-time attendees to this conference. Wow, it's a lot this time. It's probably about 30%. Let's give them a big hand. Well, whether this is your first time or you're a seasoned veteran, this conference will be an eye-opener and full of surprises. The IAFF Legislative Conference traditionally has had a dual purpose. It serves as both an educational forum and as a venue to lobby our respective members of Congress and their staffs. Washington is once again relevant for us, both on the offense and defense. Proposals abound that attack workers' rights, attempt to eviscerate our pensions, threaten our health care, and imperil our safety and security. We will be discussing those issues and providing lobbying points for you to use as you lobby your respective senators and members of Congress. You will see from today's agenda that we will hear from our friends and supporters, leaders all. Joining us will be leadership from both parties, a longtime IAFF friend and a new member of President Trump's cabinet, to 3 of the Senate's most progressive and rising stars, to several House members who will talk issues and politics, one of whom is an IAFF member, to a firecracker of a mayor, to another member of the President's cabinet, and a true American hero, and a newly elected Southern governor. We will also have one of the country's best-known conservative pundits, known as the bow-tie populist. And I have a special request today. Our agenda goes to 4 p.m. Brothers and sisters, this is a one-day conference. The General President has worked very hard to get us top-notch speakers. Our final 3 speakers are true DC heavyweights. We do not want them speaking to an empty room. I implore you to stay to the very end of the conference. It will certainly be well worth your time. Beyond the educational component, we will provide you with instruction and give you some additional techniques on successful lobbying and conveying the importance of the issues and the threats that our members are facing. And I should note that we are providing information on several very important and timely issues. It isn't imperative that you raise all the issues in each and every visit. We urge you to look at committee assignments and raise the issue which your respective legislators can be of the most assistance. Lobby the issues that you can best articulate and the ones where you feel your congressional folks are most receptive and willing to help. Brothers and sisters, those are skills that are transportable. Those same skills and techniques can be used to lobby in your respective state capitals or before your town councils to advance issues at the local level, where battles are occurring each and every day. Tomorrow, you will put on your lobbying hats and join our grassroots army of over 650 professional firefighters from across the nation to storm Capitol Hill and be the voice of the IAFF and our over 304 active and retired members from each of the nation's 435 congressional districts. Remember, you are our frontline soldiers, our citizen lobbyists, and it's you that make our program successful. But I must also remind you, our success depends on much more than our 650 conference attendees or your hard work this week. When you return home, you must continue to lobby your senators and representatives, as well as your state and local officials on our issue. More importantly, you must educate and engage your membership and fellow firefighters to make sure that they too are informed and that they join our army of firefighter lobbyists, because that's how we will win. It's truly a nonstop 365-day-a-year project. As we begin our work this week, we have challenges and we have opportunity, and we certainly have our work cut out for us. Because of the leadership and the course charted by General President Schaeferger and the Executive Board, our union is in a position to capitalize on these opportunities to advance our agenda on behalf of each and every one of our members and their families. We are one union that still is welcome in the offices of both Democrats and Republicans, and that access is our advantage. This event is literally ground zero for the IAFF's legislative and political grassroots initiatives. Our agenda today will be both diverse and comprehensive. Our success and our ability to build relationships and coalitions has been achieved by embracing the diversity of our supporters and even our foes on both sides of the aisle. At the end of the day, our political and legislative agenda can be summarized in 4 words: putting firefighters first. Enjoy the conference, stay focused, and good luck on the Hill. I ask you to turn your attention to the video screen. It is now my privilege to introduce our leadership, the International Association of Firefighters Executive Board and Trustees.
Brothers and sisters of the IAFF and honored guests, the District Vice Presidents and International Trustees of the International Association of Firefighters. The 1st District Vice President, James Slevin, representing New York and New Jersey. The 2nd District Vice President, Mark Woolbright, representing Missouri, Nebraska, Iowa, and Kansas. The 3rd District Vice President, Jay Colbert, representing Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. The 4th District Vice President, Andrew Pantelis, representing Maryland, the District of Columbia, Virginia, Delaware, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. The 5th District Vice President, Thomas Thornberg, representing Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota, and South Dakota. The 6th District Vice President, Michael Hurley, representing British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Yukon, and the Northwest Territory. The 7th District Vice President, Kelly Fox, representing Washington, Montana, Idaho, and Alaska. The 8th District Vice President, Mark Sanders, representing Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, and Michigan. The 9th District Vice President, Ray R. Roney, representing Colorado, Oregon, Utah, Wyoming, and Nevada. The 10th District Vice President, Frank Nemo, representing California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Hawaii. The 11th District Vice President, Roy L. Sandy McGee, representing Oklahoma, Texas, and the Canal Zone. The 12th District Vice President, Larry F. Osborne, representing Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and the Caribbean area. The 13th District Vice President, Fred LeBlanc, representing Ontario and Manitoba. The 14th District Vice President, Danny Todd, representing Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. The 15th District Vice President, David Burry, representing Newfoundland, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and Quebec. The 16th District Vice President, James B. Johnson, representing all federal firefighters of the United States and Canada. The Region 1 Trustee, Alex Forrest, representing Canada. The Region 2 Trustee, Mark S. Willett, representing the Eastern United States, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. And the Region 3 Trustee, Tony Mejia, representing the Western United States, the Canal Zone, and Guam. Brothers and sisters, the IAFF District Vice Presidents and International Trustees.
Thank you. Now please join with me in welcoming the members seated at the dais. To my right, we have a longtime veteran of the fire service and our IAFF Chief of Staff, Jim Lee. Jim is a former president of Toronto Firefighters. Local 3888, as well as the Ontario Professional Firefighters. He served as the Assistant to the General President for Canadian Affairs. Subsequently, he was the IAFF's Chief Operating Officer, and he was promoted to Chief of Staff last year. Jim truly keeps the trains running on time at IAFF headquarters, our Chief of Staff, Jim Lee. Jim's counterpart is the new IAFF Chief Operating Officer. He serves as the top aide to the General Secretary-Treasurer. Upon his election, his GST selected someone who has experience leading troops in battle. Matt Goldstein is a decorated Army officer and graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point. Chief Operations Officer, Matt Goldstein. It is a pleasure to introduce someone new to her position, but not new to our union. On January 4th, the General President promoted Shannon Meisner as our new Governmental Affairs Director. She succeeds Burry Kasnitz and is responsible for managing our day-to-day activities on the Hill and leads our regulatory and lobbying staff. Shannon Meisner. Next is the IAFF Political Director, David Billy. David has been with the International since 1989 and has recently announced his retirement. We wish David all the best and welcome his successor, longtime Professional Firefighters of New Hampshire President Dave Lang. Dave Lang and David Billy, dual political directors for this conference. Finally, it is now my honor to introduce the General President's partner in this administration. Elected by acclamation in August of 2016, the General Secretary-Treasurer enjoyed a meteoric rise through the IAFF, culminating with his ascension to the #2 position at our convention last year. He enjoys a deep family history with the Boston Fire Department, where his father, grandfather, and siblings and other relatives are proud Boston Jakes. A proud veteran of the United States Air Force, the GST joined the fire department in 1997. He was soon elected to the board of Local 718 and rose to President Local during epic battles with then Mayor Tom Menino. He became president of the Massachusetts Firefighters in 2011 and held the post until his rise to General Secretary-Treasurer. He is a graduate of the Harvard Trade Union program and held countless leadership posts throughout the local, state, and national labor movements. Brothers and sisters, please welcome our General Secretary-Treasurer, Ed Kelly. Brothers and sisters, Washington, D.C. was where this great international union was founded, and the Washington Firefighters Local 36 is a proud charter member. It is my pleasure to introduce Local 36 President Dabney Hudson to formally welcome each of you to our nation's capital and make that Dabney Hudson. Thanks.
General President Shapeberger, General Secretary Treasurer Kelly, honored guests, brothers and sisters of this great International Association of Firefighters, welcome to the nation's capital, and welcome to the 2017 Alfred K. Whitehead Legislative Conference. I'm Dabney Hudson, President of the District of Columbia Firefighters Association, Local 36. I sincerely hope you enjoy your stay with us here in the district, and please stop by our table located in the lobby if we can assist you during the conference. Also, please know, we have t-shirts for sale at the booth where the proceeds go to our Coats for Kids drive. Purchasing a t-shirt helps purchase a coat for a child in need. I often think of politics can be described as a battle, a never-ending battle. Either you're engaged in battle or you're preparing for battle. Each vital issue is a battlefield in and of itself. The battlefield is dynamic, where a flawed strategy can result in defeat. One must carefully examine your strategy, including the time, energy, and resources needed to execute a successful plan. When should we seize the moment in offensive mode or prepare to defend? We must remain steadfast on the objectives, never letting the fog of emotion blur our judgment. We're operating in a vastly different environment on Capitol Hill today than we were last year's legislative conference. Therefore, we need to accept this reality by adjusting our strategy and forging ahead. I would like to share with you two simple thoughts that are important takeaways from my local's recent battles. One, remember to always take comfort in knowing the support of our International Association of Firefighters is all-encompassing and steadfast. It was not too long ago that Local 36 endured a long and grueling battle with Mayor Vincent Gray. Our union was not respected. It became clear the mayor's administration was working with the intent on destroying our rights and making us irrelevant. General President Shapeberger and the IAFF were there with all their resources, assisting us at every turn, and they'll be there for you too. We should all hold our heads high knowing that we are blessed to be part of such a great union. Second, we must strive to create new friendships, whenever and wherever we can. In my opinion, networking is the eighth wonder of the world. One can never have too many friends, and you never know who may come to your aid in the next battle you're engaged in. Among your friends, you will find out over time, the ones willing to stand by your side when the chips are down are also the ones you should be willing to maintain a committed allegiance to. The phrase "never forget" is well known in the fire service and vitally important in forging new and lasting friendships. You never know when you may be the friend that has to come to the aid of another. Friendships are two-way streets, and we must never turn our backs on those that stand with us in our time of need. As we plan to take Capitol Hill over the course of this conference, use your time wisely. Try to make a few new friends while solidifying old relationships. And for our brothers and sisters on the front lines, prepare yourself as best you can, for the next battle you're engaged in may be right around the corner. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your time here in Washington, D.C.